Well, howdy doody, everybody. This is the Atlantis, can't even say the word right, Atlantis Sea Colony live stream. And, we're back.
We're back.
Brendon is back, and Brendon's got a whole world of things that he's gonna tell you about tonight.
Yeah, but, can you turn your notifications off on your phone so I can listen to that all night long too? That'd be great.
Nope.
I didn't think Adam was going to be here tonight, so that's kind of why the title was "Brendon is Back." Because, I thought I was going to rerun this solo, so I thought we were just going to talk about that. But Adam is here, so with Adam being here, we can talk about some more stuff then too. I guess
we can talk about all kinds of things.
All kinds of things.
So before we get into the beef of tonight's live stream, because we got a lot to talk about. Your adventure to Jules, your not so much fun adventure before that, or after that, I should say. But also, I mean, we've had we wrapped up Shark Week the last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So now my question is, are we still running the special on the gear, or did we end that with Shark Week?
So that ended actually during Shark Week. And the thing was that I wanted to run a promo then anyway, but there was already one running from our supplier. So it worked out. So no, there's no. You had your chance to buy stuff at great deals, and I know some people did. We had some people buy some stuff. So thank you very much for your purchase, for your support.
Yeah, and I should have thrown on my new Atlantis Sea Colony shirt, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Just not something that I've done.
Where is your? Is that the new thing you got? Was a new shirt?
Yeah, you got me the shirt. Yeah. And this is my hat. You can tell it's taken a little bit of a beating because I wear it to work and stuff, but I still like it. I still like to wear this hat. It still looks nice.
And Babe, one of our patrons, he just mentioned the other day that he's able to strike up a conversation because of the merchandise too. So
yeah. Shout out Babe, by the way, because not only does he participate when we need him to participate, or not need him, but ask him to participate. Like, he's always there, and he's been helping out, finding because we do stuff on the Slack app, and he's a part of that, and he helps find content for our social medias and stuff. So,
and so does Glenn. Glenn's been throwing stuff in there as well.
Yeah, and Glenn as well. That's right.
Yep. So, and we want more of that. So if there's people out there that have their finger to the pulse of the dive community and want to share content to help you out, to help whoever out, post stuff like that, hey, let us know. I'll throw you in. We'll add you into that.
Throw it.
Yeah.
Throw me in.
I didn't mean you, but
throw me in. Throw me in. I don't even care. So let's get into it.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Oh. So it all started with you
cold, wintry night
taking
December of 1977.
Oh yeah, okay. You're talking about your birthday. It took me a second. I was thinking you were making a movie reference or something there. No. So what was it? Last Sunday.
Yeah. So last Monday I flew down to Key Largo. Got up Tuesday morning, had breakfast. I never have breakfast. I just I've been doing that fast where you only eat for certain hours a day for almost 2 years now. A year and a half. Anyway, so I don't eat breakfast. But I said, hey, I'm on vacation. Let's splurge a little bit. So I had breakfast. I regretted it immediately as I ate it. But whatever. So I wasn't feeling too hot. Anyway, I went there. Sitting there, I knew the nerves were going. I'm there at Jules. As soon as I got there, they recognized me. They're like, hey, come here. I helped them do some stuff. We were just chilling, chatting, because I got there way early. But I was feeling like crap the whole time, filling out paperwork and stuff along those lines. I told them, I was like, I don't think my breakfast is really agreeing with me today. And like, Thane's like, man, that sucks. So I'm like, yeah, it does. But anyway, so we get in there, we scuba dive around for about an hour. The pain really lets up a little bit. So I figure, okay, whatever. Nerves are over with. I'm good to go. Get down there. I get in Jules, get set up in there. He gives me the tour. I'm chilling. I start contacting you. I contact my sister, letting people know, sending pictures and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I just not feeling good. My side is like hurting. And I'm like, hi, mate. Once again, I'll be good here in a little second. Like, I let everybody go. I go lay down for a little bit, and it just starts getting worse. So I'm like in the bedroom, and I'm like just pouring in sweat at this point in time. Sweat's just running down, and it's already cool down there. But I'm grabbing like the air conditioner vent. I'm like on my head. I'm like leaning up against this thing with just air blowing on me, and I'm just dying. I'm in agony. I feel like I'm gonna like puke or pass out or what. It's just such abdominal pain. I'm only 20 feet down. I didn't give myself the bends, so I don't know. So I'm like, all these things are going through my head. So I'm WebMDing myself, all this kind of stuff. Anyway, about an hour in, I finally tell Thane, I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm in agony down here. So he comes down there, like, hey, let's get out. Let's go to the prompt care. Let's just see what's going on. He goes, if it's nothing, we'll just bring it back down here. We'll keep on going. So make long story short, they couldn't make anything conclusive, but they said, looks like you got kidney stones. I was like, awesome. I've never had kidney stones before, but Thane had it. He's like, dude, you're done, like type of thing. It's like, yeah, you're done at that point. So I'm like, great. I spent all this money. I've traveled here by myself. I'm stuck down here in southern Florida by myself with kidney stones. This is going to be fun. So anyway, I go, all right, they gave me antibiotics and drugs. I'm like, all right, I'll go back. So I got a hotel room for the next 2 days before my flight, and I was agony for 48 hours, nonstop, just writhing in pain. It was insane. By the grace of God, that's the only thing I can say. I was able to fly out Thursday and come home, because when I got home Thursday night, the pain came back. And so I fought it until, Sunday night, I guess it was. Saturday night I started living in my sister's hot tub because it's the only time I got relief. And so then after Sunday, I said, I'm going to the ER. This is ridiculous. It's going almost a week now. I'm not getting any better. ER says, yeah, looks like you had a kidney stone. You passed it. Now you got an UTI on top of it. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. So needless to say, today has been the best I've felt in a week. I'm sore. I'm beat up, but I'm on the mend. So thank you to everybody who has, prayers, well wishes, all that kind of stuff. Because, oh, man, I don't wish that on anybody what I just went through. It was horrendous. Yeah, it was bad. It was not an enjoyable week. It really made me doubt a lot of stuff. It put me in a really deep, dark place for part of it. After all this stuff, I was like, I don't want anything to do with the ocean or anything related to it ever again there for several days, just because the amount of pain us correlating to all this. And it was horrible. But I'm back. I'm on the mend. I'm probably about 80%. So we're getting
low and behold, the man of the hour is back.
I'm back.
So let's break down, parts of this. So we talked a little bit before I think I need to adjust this. We talked a little bit about before we started recording. But I mean, aside from the pain that you were in, like, what was your first impressions of just being able to be in an underwater habitat?
It was cool. It was one of those things where it is not for everybody at this point in time. Once again, it will get there. It will be, a experience that it will be great. But right now, you have to be somebody that wants to go do it. It's not somebody that, hey, I want to go take a vacation. I want to go somewhere unique and feel like it's going to be an easy segue over from what you're used to. Because especially if you go to like Jules, which you don't have too many options, you've got Jules. It's not the clearest water, depending on what time you're there. There's a bunch of scuba divers there before me. So the water had been stirred up. It just rained as well. So there's a bunch of negative that is going into it. So the water was not super clear. So that was a downfall. There's not much sea life out there. Thane and me, we scuba over the top of it, and there were some lobsters and stuff crawling around on top. There's some fish, and sometimes there's other animals in there as well. But there wasn't too much going on right then. So, like I say, you have to be wanting to go there for the experience and understand that you're going into a habitat that was not designed for the general man to want to go into. It was designed as a science research, even though it is a very nice underwater habitat that's 50 years old, 40 years old. So yeah, but once again, so to answer your question, it was cool, very cool to come up under this thing. I had seen so many videos, and I've spent so many of my years of my life thinking about this. It wasn't, I don't think, as much of a wow moment as I expected it to be. But getting in there, sitting in there, putting my hand up against this giant thick piece of glass, looking outside, it was cool.
Now, we were talking about the thickness of the glass. Was this thing, I know we talked about it probably a million times, was this at a deeper point in its early stages?
Oh, yeah. It's been a whole lot deeper. Yeah. Because right now you would totally no, not at all. Not for where you're at right now. Yeah, it was pretty thick. It was designed for some depth. And see, I always thought it was a concave or convex. I can't remember which was like almost a bubble window, but it's not. It was now the outside it was pretty flat, and that was something that I learned. I mean, there's several things getting inside of the thing and getting to put my hands on it that the pictures don't do it justice. And that was one of them.
So what ended up happening to the pizza that you ordered because you weren't able to eat it?
I don't think I ever got ordered because I got out about 2:00. So it wasn't supposed to be coming until like 5:36. So.
Oh, okay. See, I thought like you already had it ordered and like they just dived down there.
No.
Like, hey.
It's coming for supper.
What a shame. You should have roughed it out until the pizza.
Dude, I tried. I did. But
yeah, and the whole time, one of your good friends kept telling you need to go to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. I don't want to.
Well, because I mean, whatever. That's conversation for another podcast or whatever.
And this isn't an insult to you.
Yeah.
But you do have a lower pain tolerance than.
I don't think I do. I'm more of a drama queen. I put
okay,
a lot more. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, but I make fun of it. I lean into it a lot.
So you're saying that there was no drama attached to this ailment?
There was zero drama.
Because I remember when you had COVID or whatever was likely like COVID, you would have thought you were dying.
Yeah, it was bad. This is bad. This is one of those things where I said, COVID, yeah, you can survive it. If you're a healthy person, yeah. I don't want anybody to have COVID. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, but this is something that I don't care. I don't care. This is horrible. This was the worst. I can't think of anything you could have that would be more pain than this, because there for 2 days I don't want to get too TMI on this whole thing, but the pain would get to the point where I just start throwing up. My body just couldn't handle it.
See, and that's weird to me. I mean, I've obviously thrown up before, but I've never understood being in so much pain that's how your body reacts. This is weird to me.
So, but yeah, if you want more information, you can contact me and talk about it. But I mean, it was not a glorious. So yeah, it was a disappointing experience. But
because of the circumstances.
Because of the circumstances, but I think there's a purpose behind it, and I don't know what that purpose is yet. But hey, I'm not deterred by it. It's great. And on that, we've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. Because of it. Tomorrow morning, I got a Zoom call with somebody that wants to talk about Atlanta Sea Colony. The Seasetting Institute has got me speaking in 2 weeks on a Saturday all about Atlanta Sea Colony. I'm part of a Discord group that we've been talking quite a little about construction aspects and ideas and stuff. So there's a lot of information going on right now in a really short period of time about all this. And then, of course, we still have a contact over in Turkey that I talk to frequently, and he contacted me right when I got back, wanted to know how it was. So him and me are going to have another call set up pretty soon too. Still moving forward on that kind of stuff. So, and then I had an hour-long phone call today with somebody in the underwater habitat space. And we talked a little bit too. So there's a lot of conversation going on right there. We just need to turn it into action and dollars right at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. And not to keep rewinding, but shout out to the Jules crew and stuff, because he said, like,
oh yeah,
when 100%. You got there, like, super hospitable and good conversation, and obviously when you did come down, I mean, Thane was there to help you out, and
got to meet him.
So yeah, I mean, good
and
people to be friends with.
It was very cool. They were, very hospitable. Everybody there was super cool. It's a really cool place. It's not huge by any means, but they also got a marine labs right there. So you walk by Marine Lab, which used to be there in the lagoon as well. So you can walk by this other underwater habitat that's just chilling there on the docks area. So you walk by, you can take pictures of it. It is tiny. And so, yeah. I say I'll be posting something on Facebook probably tomorrow, thanking everybody that was involved, because it was one of those things. It's one of those things I think we'll want to have a conversation to at some point in time as well about what do you do in case of an underwater emergency. Fortunately, right. Mine wasn't super severe. I was able to scuba dive out. And honestly, I think the warm water is what helped a lot, because that warm water, that's why I started feeling better while we were scuba diving, because the warm water was soothing to my body. And then as soon as I got out of the habitat and we started diving back up, I started feeling a little better. I'm like, crap, if I'm getting out of this thing, I'm already starting to feel better. And this is all just like gas or something like that in me. And I'm being a pansy about the thing. I'm going to be pretty ticked. But it wasn't. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, unfortunate circumstances around something, but at the same time, I mean, granted, I bet you wish you were obviously able to stay the night and all that, but I mean, you still got to experience some of it anyways, and being able to.
I mean, yeah, I got to be there. I got in there. I mean, I spent an hour in an underwater hotel. I'll take it. At this point in time, it's on my bucket list type of things to do, and it's a step. So, I've been talking to my family. They're all very interested. Only my oldest niece is certified, but my sister and brother-in-law, they're interested in getting certified, and maybe we'll go back as a group next time. Because I said, I'm never going on vacation by myself somewhere again, because being miserable in a hotel room for 2 days was not fun.
Well, I'm glad that, like, for some reason I didn't go with you, because I don't know if I would have been able to deal with it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that I didn't have any people with me, because it would have been ridiculous.
Like, are you going to be a buzzkill this entire time or what?
Yeah, get back down there. Because, like I said, I invited a friend to go with me. And as soon as I got back, I'm like, dude, good thing you didn't go with me. So.
Well, at least they would have got to stay.
Yeah. As I'm laying in a hotel dying somewhere. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
The hotel that you stayed at when you flew into Miami, that looked pretty cool. It was there in the marina. Yeah,
it was a marina. You could, it was had good food and stuff along those lines. It was you could charter boats and stuff from it. So I think that's the biggest appeal to it. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think we should.
Hey, Glenn.
Oh, okay. That's why. Hey, Glenn. Well, I was gonna say we should dedicate an episode on, contingency plans or something like that, because it's something that we would have to think about.
Yeah. And in the Patreon months ago, I asked, who'd you like to see on here? And one of the things that came up was Dan, the Divers Alert Network, which deals with, diver insurance and medical emergencies and stuff along those lines. So maybe something we may want to get somebody from them on and talk about hypotheticals. Hey, you're 30 feet underwater in a habitat. You got somebody that's unresponsive. What's our options here?
Yeah, because I got to think that would be, I don't know, to me, it's like, okay, this is impossible. Because, like...
Yeah, Baby and me were talking about it a little bit. The nice thing about Jules is there's from the dock where you get off to Jules, there's a rope. You can fall all the way down. So if you were unresponsive, you put a full face mask on the person, so you got air to them, so there's no regulator to put in their mouth, and you just probably strap them onto that rope, and then you can guide them up to the surface type of thing.
But you'd still have to carry someone while you're swimming.
but they're floating. You strap to it's an unresponsive swimmer type of thing. As a lifeguard, you learn how to take care of a non-responsive swimmer. This would be even easier because you don't have to worry about them drowning because they got a face mask on.
So, like, if you're like, I need a breather before I bring them up, like, you're like, they'll be all right for a little bit longer.
Well, I mean, it depends on what the issue is, too.
They start slowly sinking. You're like, dang it. But yeah, I mean, it would be a good thing if we could. Yeah, we should look into that a little bit more to see if we can find someone that can speak more on that, because obviously that kind of thing happens. It takes practice, but there are procedures, says our good friend Glenn. Yeah. That's one thing, like, I wish I would have gotten better at back when I wasn't as fat. Like, I've always been fat, but, like, as but I was like, I can swim, but, like, as far as being able to more advanced swimming, I guess, or like being able to help or carry someone and still be able to like maintain composure and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like it would be beneficial regardless, but you think about it more like after you have kids too, that you're just like, if I'm out swimming with my kids, granted my kids are tiny right now, so it's just like I could pick them up or do whatever, but it's just like as they get bigger and stuff, like then you probably need to have a plan of how you approach that. Yeah,
I agree. And as Glenn said there, Dan, he agreed that Dan would be a great one. So it might be something we would do is I'll reach out to Dan and see if we can't get some kind of representative to either do an interview with, or if they'll come on live and do, that'd be great too. But
yeah, that, and they'd just be good people to start networking with a little bit. So when we do get this thing going, like, they can be a part of the process and be able to, give input on how, because I mean, I got to think that a lot of people, that's going to be a lot of people's number one question. Maybe not number one, maybe like a number two question, but it's like, all right, what happens if I go into cardiac arrest down there? It's like, okay, well, this is what we would do, rather than just be like, I don't know. Like, we've only dealt with kidney stones. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, but no, it's cool. Especially people that watch this or are interested in this. I think that going to Jules, I still think it is a steal at the current price, even though it is in a lagoon. It's once again not the best visibility. I think for that experience, the current cost to go there, and especially if you can get a group, the rates go down because you're splitting that cost between more and more people. If you get a group, I think it's a steal. I think that easily the price could be doubled, and people still pay for it.
You want a dog?
You know how I feel about your dogs. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I got about that. I mean, I don't really want to keep on beating a dead horse there as far as that goes, but yeah. Anyway, what else you got to talk about tonight, Adam?
I don't have a lot other than I was just looking through some of it hasn't been out yet. Some new stuff that I had scheduled out. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up quick while I'm talking to you because there was a couple things.
Yeah,
that'd be good talking points, but now I don't have it right in front of me, so now I have to go to it real quick.
One of the things I threw out on my personal Facebook today, Glenn, that would be amazing. I hope so. Yeah. If everything all aligns, I don't know how soon you got in here, if you heard the very beginning or not, but I say I've got to say there's lots of conversation going on right now with ASC calling different entities. Not saying those conversations are about making this happen anytime soon or not, but the name's getting out there, the mission's getting out there. I've got a Zoom call tomorrow morning The Seasteaders, anybody that's familiar with them, we've been friendly with them for years now, had them on the podcast, been involved with them, really getting more intertwined with some of them as far as they have a Discord channel that's got a lot of activity, been good conversations there. I'm going to be speaking at their monthly event next in about 2 weeks. So there's lots of good conversation. And from those events and this conversation, who knows what's going to come. Maybe the right investors, maybe some contacts for locations and stuff along those lines too. I know that some of the people I've been talking about have been talking about locations. So there's talk out there right now between several people that said, hey, we'd love for you to come and maybe we can do something together, and we'll do something on the surface of the water and you can build something underneath of it. So the conversation's out there. How much of it actually anything will come of it, I don't know. But hey, it's positive.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you said just made me. I pulled up the thing that I was going to talk about, but I'm going to wait up with that. On my personal Facebook, I asked last week, trying to get some opinions on stuff because I'm having a hard time getting clear information on this. So I'll throw it out there to everybody. And I'm getting a little bit of information. Yeah, so ownership of bodies of water, not ownership, but what level of government entity is in charge of certain bodies of water? So if there's a lake, is it in your town, is it the lakes? Or I'm sorry, is it the city's jurisdiction? Is it the counties? Is it a state thing?
It probably depends on what the lake is, because some of it's going to be federal ground, some of it's not. So it kind of depends on that too.
Well, and that's one of the responses I got too, is because one of my buddies who lives in Texas, and he said that their local lake is a reservoir or something. I don't know how he said it, but basically it's like a federal thing because it supplies water.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some bodies of water don't do that.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's where because one of the things that I haven't done yet, but what I want to be doing is getting in contact with the municipal figures of the areas that we'd want to approach this. So, whether it's Oceanside, or I know I've brought up a couple times that if there's a very, very select few lakes that would be clean enough or whatever, that might be interesting to approach, but 90% would be Oceanside or whatever. So finding out who you would contact to be okay, let's just say Miami or whatever, for just the sake of conversation, be okay, we want to throw a habitat off into the waters right by you guys. So who are we contacting about that? Is it the state of Florida? Is it Miami? Is it Miami-Dade County? Who can point us in the right direction? Because I don't want to get political with my statement, but government can get kind of shady sometimes depending on how you go about things. So it's I want to make sure however we go about doing things, we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's or whatever. So that's something that I'm trying to learn. So when we go about this, we can step by step talk to the right people, get the right permissions, and all that. Yeah.
And I say it changes state by state, country by country. So
yeah,
that's the fun part. The fun part of it, I guess.
Yeah, because we've looked at international locations too, like Central American locations or something like that. Well, that's a whole different ballgame too.
Yep.
But at the same time, a lot of their livelihood is tourism. So then, is that going to be more welcoming? Is that going to be, easier to work with? So, yeah, there's a lot of little things that we got to figure out with that. And I'm sure we could talk to I'm sure there's people out there that already have that answer and stuff. I'm sure, a few people in the seasteading community probably already know that because they probably already worked with a bunch of that.
Yeah. Well, Chad, Nadia, and ocean builders and stuff along those lines, obviously they do. They're building as we speak. So they've already handled that aspect there down in Panama. And that works for Panama because Panama is open to that type of thing.
Yeah. The article I was talking about.
Yes.
Because I've been seeing more news articles about this that I've been sharing. That's one about the guy that found some gold on a shipwreck off the Florida Keys. Did you get a chance to look too much at that one? It posted today. It actually posted 2 hours ago, so maybe you haven't had a...
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
See it. So, yeah, like... But just the topic alone of, like, there's a lot of... It seems like there's more articles coming out now, and maybe it's just because of my algorithm on my computer and how I get my news sources, but I'm getting a lot of stories about people like that are diving off like old shipwrecks and I believe it was Babe that was saying that he likes to
dive ships.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. This guy found some gold at one of the shipwrecks. So I mean,
yeah, if I lived closer to the shore, like there were shipwrecks where I had a dive buddy, I would probably love to do that kind of thing. Because I mean, you never know what kind of gold and stuff. There's tons of gold out there in the ocean, all over the place.
Yeah, and there's still plenty of treasure.
I used to have Bill Black on my old Facebook. I had him as a friend. I think
maybe he would be a good one. Look into it, Mr. Glenn. But yeah, that'd be like a fun thing to get into, depending on where and like, because there's still like tons of shipwrecks that haven't been discovered too. Like you always hear about like people, maybe not always, but you hear about people that or have a hunch about where something might be, and they discover certain shipwrecks, whether it's like from like, I don't want to say recent wars, but let's say like World War II or something like that. Or like super old wooden boats and stuff that were like, merchant ships and stuff like that, people are stumbling across. And yeah, I think that'd just be really cool because you kind of, it gives you a chance to see history right where it's at, rather than like someone pulled up the wreckage and put it in a museum. Like you can see exactly where that ship went down and where its final resting place was from the day it went down to where it's still at. So to me, that's cool. Then it becomes a part of the environment, and the marine life makes it their own.
Yeah. Did you have anything else to add to that?
No.
Okay. Well, talking about marine life making its own, I was going to segue because there's one thing that popped up on my face. Well, it popped up in my YouTube algorithm. What's Glenn got here too?
Go ahead. Up until 1960, 1 out of every ship that sailed has been sunk. 1 out of every 8. Okay, he cleared it up. 1 out of every ship. 1 out of 8. 1 out of every 8 ships that sailed has been sunk. Pretty good percentage of finding something worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know.
It doesn't make me feel good about getting on a boat, though.
Well, it's not it's up till 1960.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I missed it. I thought it said since. I'm like,
no, you're good.
Those aren't very good statistics.
Gosh. I get a little more secure than that now. Anyway, no, so as I was saying is, yes, as Glenn said,
1 out of 9 now.
better odds now, yeah. You got a 10% chance. It was about, once again, it was for years now, I've been talking about underwater data centers. I've been underwater data center since Microsoft's done it. And there's a very good video that I threw it in the Slack to get scheduled out too, and I'll probably schedule it out myself. Actually, I threw it in there today. But it's been the best argument, the best video for why underwater data centers are the future and why they make sense. And I think that's going to be could be one of the core reasons to spur underwater habitat growth. Obviously, what Microsoft did was unmanned, but if you did manned ones, then you can do maintenance. Because right with the unmanned one, you can't do any maintenance on it. And servers failed over the 2-year period, but they were saying in the video they figured they can last 5 years. And really, server hardware, that's about your median age on server hardware anyway is 5 years. With OS upgrades and all that kind of stuff and patches. But if you made it so that you could switch out the failed hardware and stuff along those lines, because it's an 8 times better, beating around the bush here, underwater data center found out that they lasted 8 times better than on land. And they don't fully know why. But it's just proof that the water does it better. And so it's just one of those different industries. I believe that in the next 20 to 50 years, every business entity, every business type will have some sort of entity in the ocean. And I think underwater data centers is already proving that it makes a whole lot more sense to be in the ocean than on land for a lot of it.
Yeah, my prediction is that companies like Apple and Amazon and stuff like that, they're going to follow suit pretty quick. I could even see like whatever Starlink is attached to, because I mean they're going to need to
SpaceX.
Okay, so I didn't know if Starlink was its own thing or if SpaceX. Or
it's
Starlink.
part of SpaceX. Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah.
So yeah. So I could see them utilizing it too, because I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And a lot of those big companies, regardless of what you think about the people that run it, they're all about innovation. They're all about trying to do something cheaper, more creatively, because, I mean, there's a reason these people turn into millionaires and billionaires. It's because they think of innovative ways of doing stuff.
And if you really want to get deep and dark about it, is, you start putting, they talk about in the video too, that it's secure, it's underwater, you don't know where it's at, you can't really break into an underwater data center as easy as you can a land one, even though land ones are super hard to get into. These are going to be even harder to get into. But you start putting it far enough out into the ocean where it's not under any guidance whatsoever. What kind of data can you put on there that therefore is not under any jurisdiction at that point in time too? So, it's a interesting prospect. In just this one field, and this is just IT alone, the possibilities and that could spur on this underwater movement. And you can start looking at all the other fields out there that exist and how you could use them in the ocean as well. And I've said for years, I think the underwater, yeah, exactly, Glenn. You got it. Sorry. Research new drugs. Because once you get out past the auspices of especially the United States, and you don't have to adhere by FDA rules, you can start really experimenting on stuff out there for the good or for the bad. It's a two-edged sword, but you're going to find cures for stuff and be able to do stuff. And I think that's the reason I don't like to keep on harping back to the sea setters. But that's been their whole mantra is, breaking yourselves free from the governments of the world to be able to live a libertarian dream and do what you want to do type of thing. It opens up so many more aspects. And that's why I see underwater as well. I just see it as, underwater there's definitely some pros there too.
Yeah. Self-governance.
Yeah, exactly. And what will we find? I think it's very soon coming, whether it's on top of the water or under the water or both. It's going to open the ways to some very interesting new things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's one of those things that like I get into philosophical debates with myself about and others because like I said, I try to stray away from politics when we're doing this, but like, as a libertarian minded person, I think there's nothing more progressive than having no restrictions, or like not having to go through so much red tape and restrictions to try to create something or research something. But to be the devil's advocate on the situation too, you also hope that people aren't utilizing these kinds of things to do stupid crap either, and doing, like running illegal servers that are, pirating a bunch of stuff, or what I mean. Like, hopefully, like I said, I think the good is always
they will.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. It is what it is.
I think the good is always going to outweigh the bad. So I mean, I do think there's, I'm all for it. And at the same time, who's to say the good guys won't take down the bad guys when they don't have to worry about too much? We could have our own little Batman situation out there, just a vigilante going around shutting down the bad stuff. I suppose Aquaman would make more sense because, I mean,
there you go.
Is he a vigilante though?
Oh, yes, it doesn't really. Yeah,
he's a guardian more so.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so once again, more conversation we could have. Once again, that's the thing with this field is when I first started doing this, I struggled with finding content. So I'm glad you took that aspect over, because it's hard for me to find content at first. But there's so much content now as this world is starting to open up more and more with technology and innovation and all that kind of stuff. That it makes it a whole lot easier to either get people on here to talk about stuff or have content to talk about. So it really is more of a where do we focus and what do we talk about on next, because there's so many different things. It's great to be alive right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Atlantic Sea Colony social media, I think, is just like a good go-to place. Just if you want to keep up with like aquatic innovations or oceanic innovations, or just stories about, like I said, just simple enough as a guy found some gold in a shipwreck,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a whole heck of a lot of content about underwater habitats. That's because we're not there quite yet, and a very few people are, obviously. So, I mean, that day will come. But in the meantime, just, keeping people interested in the field of innovations that involve being amongst the ocean or the water or whatever, however you want to say, I pay attention to the floating solar wind farms and the floating wind turbines, stuff like that. Just energy innovation. Now there's a lot more going on with why can't I think it? Harvesting the waves. What's the
hydro?
Thank you. Hydropower. Being able to harness the current of the ocean, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, when stuff like that comes out, I want to share it with people. We want to share it with people, and yeah, so we're kind of a hub of oceanic innovation knowledge.
That's not. Yeah, I mean, even though that's not what Atlantic Sea Colony is,
right?
But
it's a place that we'll provide that to bring in and be like, hey, while you're over here reading this, let us tell you about our idea.
And we probably don't do a good enough job of talking about that, but that's kind of what this format is for too. Is for that. Well, we're not bombarding you on the day-to-day with, hey, Atlantic Sea Colony, it's great.
Yeah,
we're doing this cool stuff. If you're interested, you can come join us here, and then we'll put content out there every once in a while talking about as stuff comes down the pipe that is really cool. But yeah, obviously the Patreon is the people that are really the core that we talk to more, and they get to know about the stuff up front and first before anybody else. So go join them.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So are you going to be here next week, Adam?
I think I should be.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm going to count on saying yes.
Okay. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, though. Like I say, I'm honestly guys. Today was the first day I was able to sit at the desk for any period of time and do anything. So I'm still pushing it by being here as long as I have been here tonight. But I will be working on stuff for next week. So we'll have some good content next week, I'm hoping, for our thing. Who knows what we'll talk about, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, you want me to wrap it up?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, guys. Once again, welcome back, Brendon. I'm glad you're feeling better, buddy.
Thank you. Me too.
So check out our social medias, all of them. You can find those at AtlantaColony.com. Very cool website, by the way. Brendon updated it not too long ago, so it's looking good. Like I said, you can get all of our info on there. We have email addresses. You like a good email? It's on there. We don't talk about the email address very often. We talk about the social medias. But anyways, that's where you can find all of our social medias.
And to that point, there are going to be more pages added, and I actually do want to start adding almost like a bio page, so there's a place for you and me and anybody else we add on there, so they can contact us directly as well.
Nobody wants to hear about.
I'm just saying, if they want to, they're like, "Who is this Adam Jewell, and how do I get a hold of him?" There'll be a place on there to do that.
Yeah, he is such a handsome fella that I just want to get to know him better. I hope he's not married. Well, let me tell you something, guys. I am. So, Glenn wants to know if you named the kidney stone.
No, I did not. Absolutely not. And good night, Glenn.
All right. That's awesome. I was hoping you'd take pictures. Anyways. So, with Patreon, if you want to, donate $1 to $5 a month, you can. We have like a little community there. Yeah, so we're gonna do more stuff with that, and we were gonna do like an exclusive live stream last week for it.
Dude, I'm sorry.
You know what though? I think people would understand, but I think it would have made good content if we did it anyways.
Oh yeah, I'm rolling around the floor.
So go to patreon.com/AtlantaColony if you're willing to donate $1 to $5 a month. We'd greatly appreciate it. Also, if you got like $17.06 just laying around and you're like, what am I going to do with the $17.06 that I don't know what to do with it. I'll tell you what you can do. Go to paypal.me/AtlantaColony. We'll take that $17.06 one-time donation. If you ever want to do this like a one-time donation to help us out, first of all, thank you. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And this is the way to do it. PayPal.me/AtlantaColony. You can do it one time through there. You don't have to do the subscription thing. It's quick and easy.
We have lots of people do. We do have people just randomly. I'll just get an email. Somebody randomly donate some money there. So it's awesome.
Yeah. So, excuse me. Once again, if you have done that, thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks in advance if you do decide to. Also, AtlantaColony.com/merch. Like I said, I wish I would have worn my cool new shirt today. I did wear it on the last live stream. But a lot of cool stuff over there. And you said like there's a store discounts going on right now, right? Like not ours, but like didn't you say our vendors doing it?
No,
I say they were.
That's where the discount came from. Was from the vendor, not from us.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, we'll do something in the future.
No, we will.
And before I go and deal with my dogs, and every time that you purchase some merch, a little bit of that goes to us too. So every little bit helps. And also, thank you to our patrons. We have Edward Haas, Brian Acosta, and Esteban Hyde, the man, the myth, the legend. And just overall, thank you to everybody that has helped out. Like I said, between Babe and Glenn contributing in our social media Slack thing, just giving some content there. And, I didn't say it earlier. Babe, too, last Tuesday, offered to, join me on the live stream or whatever. So ultimately, I just decided to do a really quick one just to give updates and not do much with that. But I do want to thank him for, being there because it just goes to show you that when we I guess when you started this and I kind of jumped on with you, just the amount of people that have gotten involved and wanted to, just are willing to offer their time. And even if it's just a matter of sending us some messages, giving us some ideas, and just offering to step in with something. So thanks to everybody that's helped out. And we'll be back next Tuesday with something fun. We'll do something cool. Brendon, anything else?
No. Once again, thank you everybody for your thoughts, your comments, stuff like that's why I've been sick, because it has been horrible. But and I'm like you're saying with baby stuff like that. It's humbling to think that it restores your faith in humanity sometimes. Just the fact that there are people, and I don't know. I'm a ramble. Just thank you, I guess.
Because I completely ignored Brendon, so it was really nice that everybody else was able to, reach out. Because as soon as he said that he wasn't feeling good, I'm like, I don't want to
deal with this.
I'm like, you get a hold of me when you're feeling better. No. But, all right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday.